Hey, welcome back to Design with Miyoshi. Today I'm going to make three drawings, same three drawings that we made the three models of just recently.
But first, I want to thank Northwest Technical Products for sponsoring this video. If you are part of an educational institution in Washington, Alaska, Oregon, Idaho, or Montana, contact Northwest Technical Products for all your SolidWorks and other technical needs. Thanks, Andrew, and all the crew at Northwest Technical Products.
So the first three drawings. So we're going to go ahead and make a new drawing. And you could, if you had them open already, you could make the drawing right away. So I'll hit the OK, and then I'm going to make the drawing. Let's see, here we go. Again, I want ANSI landscape. And again, if you don't see ANSI landscape, you can uncheck this and then see the ANSI, see all of them. We're going to do ANSI landscape. And then, there we go, hit OK. And then we're going to select the model we want to select. So I'll just hit browse because apparently it's not defaulted there. We're going to do 38. And we'll do 42 and 43 as well. But we're going to do 38 first. Hit OK. And again, we don't want to just have a single view. The model view opens right up. If it didn't, you're going to go to annotation and do model items. We're going to go ahead and click on create multiple views. And I'll grab the three views I want. And I'll grab the isometric or trimetric view as well. OK. Once I do that, I want to make sure I have my hidden lines showing. So display style is always hidden lines. Well, not always, usually. And we'll use the sheet scale. I'll come back to that in a moment, either on this video or on a different one. OK, once I'm done with that, I'm good. I'll check. And notice it shows this little preview over here. I'll check. And there it is. Beautiful, right? Again, we can move things around by clicking when you see that little icon with the crossed arrows there. Notice that if I move the front view, it moves everything. If I try to move the top, it only moves up and down, not left and right. If I try to move the right view, it only moves left and right, not up and down. OK, so and we saw that before. And I can move this view, the perspective view, however I want to. OK, once I do that, I can go ahead and click that. And all I'm going to do is do the dimensioning. What I can do is click on model items. And instead of selected feature, I do entire model. And everything else I think is pretty good. So I'll just hit the check and then voila. Oops. Dimension inserted. Mention the sketch one feature cannot. Huh? I don't know why I did that. Maybe. Try this again. So I will go to drawing view one. So that's this guy. Model items. Entire model. Oh, that's why. I had to import into all views, not just into. I wonder if that's new. I don't know. I don't remember seeing that before, but I want to import in all views. I probably do that once and then I forget. So I'll import into all views. So entire model, all views. The rest of them should be good. And hit OK. And there we have them. Now, when I did my drawing or my dimensioning in my model, I tried to make them beautiful like I would make them beautiful here. And that's how they kind of showed up. If you recall, or hopefully I've told this already in another video. I haven't done it yet, but I will. If I haven't, if you've probably seen that, the dimensions from the distance from the object line to the dimension line need to be a minimum of 3/8 of an inch in the beginning, or from the object to the first dimension line, 3/8 of an inch. And then everyone thereafter, if there's more, is going to be a minimum of 1/4 inch. Okay. So, and I want that to be true for the outside edges and for these edges in here. So I'm going to move this up just a touch and move it to the left just a touch. Now notice that moved that 1.75 a little bit. So I'll move the top view just a little bit up so that's not interfering there. Okay. And I can move this right guy here. The main thing is kind of make it beautiful. And if you notice, SolidWorks kind of snaps to different places. So notice that I clicked there and it kind of pulled me over there. You can almost feel it with the mouse. It's kind of funny. All right. Now, if you are using your own computer all the time, you can change the default. You can change the settings for your title block, but I don't want to do that. I'm going to go ahead and just edit that. So I'll get out dimensions. I'll right click on sheet format 1 and do edit sheet format. Again, notice that it looks like my drawing went away, but that's just so I can edit here. I move around till I see that little A with my A icon by my cursor. Notice if I move out of the area, then it goes away, but I'll move in here for the name. I double click, oops, it went on the check instead. So I'll click on name. Oh goodness, let's zoom in a little bit more. Okay, do name, double click, and I'll just put in Yoshi. I'll do it all caps, and I'll do date. Since date doesn't always fit in here so well, I'll just do the date, 8/14/20. Instead of I usually put 2020, and I usually put a 0 in front of the 8. So I'll put the 0 there, but I'll just get rid of the other 20. Okay. Then I can go ahead and click here. There we go. Double click, and I'll just do Yoshi design. Click on the title. This happens to be a step block, so I'll double click on there and type in step block. There we have it. I'm all done. And then I can right click on sheet format 1, go back to title, oops, the edit sheet, and everything's there. I'll zoom back out, and then I'm done. I'll just do save. It saves it as my drawing, so I'll just go ahead and keep it there. That sounds like a good place. And there we have it. I can close this guy up. I'll close, and I'm ready to go. All right, here's the other way to make a drawing. I'm going to go ahead and open up the model first. So I'll do 542. That's that cradle, rod support rather, not the cradle, it's a rod support. And I'll just go ahead and from here, I'll make a new drawing. So I'll click on new and make drawing from part. So I'll click make drawing from part, and there we have it. Again, ANSI landscape, ANSI A landscape, hit OK. And then I'll go, again, I don't like to do this. I'll just don't do model. I always forget what I need to do when I do it this way. So I'll do model view, click on drawing and then model view. And then I have to click, I don't know why it makes me do this because it already knows that that's the one I want to make it from. I'll hit next, create multiple views. Top, front, and right. Notice it shows over there again. It's beautiful. I'll click on hidden lines, and sheet scale is going to be there. And then hit OK. Now on these, this one might be a little big, so let's go ahead and fix that up. So if I right-click on sheet format and go way down to properties, well, properties in the middle, notice that it shows my scale. Scale is 1 to 1. So this is actually a fraction, and fraction and ratio are the same, right? So 1 to 1 is full scale. I'm going to make this guy half scale. There are actually scales that you should use. 1/2 scale is right. This one looks a little bit small to be half scale. So let's go and let's make it 3/4 scale. So I'll do 3 to 4. So that's 3/4 scale. I'll hit apply changes. And then that looks a little better. All right, so I will move this view up a little bit. I'll move this guy to the left a little bit. And then again, I'll just go up here, annotation, model items, entire model, import items into all views, hit the check, and I'll just clean things up a little bit. I'll move this guy up just a tiny bit, so that's this guy doesn't interfere. I'll move that down just a little bit, and those look about right. I can move this in a little bit, but I'll move this out instead. Oops, no, I will move this in. And that looks good. This guy over here is a little bit messy. So I'm gonna go ahead and make that there, and it'll snap to nice and neat there. If you don't like that 0.25 inside, you can make it come out a little bit. I'll move this 0.5 up, and there we have it. Now, because we know that in the model that, oh, yeah, let's talk about one more thing. If I zoom in here, you need to make sure that you always have a line on your arrow. If you don't have a line from coming for your arrow, then you need to make your lines outside. And this guy here, if you click on that little dot, it'll make the arrows go inside. And notice there's no lines, and it makes it look messy, so we don't want to do that. So click that little dot, and it goes to the outside. Notice also that there's always a gap here. You want to make sure there's a gap. Like, SolidWorks will do that for you automatically, as long as you've got it nice and neat. There are times when you might have to move that endpoint, but that's not quite the case yet. Now, the one thing I want to mention is that we know that this guy and this guy are the same size because that's how we set up in SolidWorks or in our model. So we're gonna, but we have to make it so that people know when they see the drawing. So the way I do that is I'll click on the dimension, and notice over here it's got a bunch of cool stuff. One of the things is dim, and in front of dim we can go to the very front and do 2 capital X space. Oops, that didn't make a capital X. I have capital X on. 2 capital X, and then 1.0. That says that I'm going to make this guy. The 2X says this guy and this guy are the same dimension, even though instead of putting the dimension here. So once I do that, I can put whatever. And again, you can put whatever text you want in this dimension text. The dim in this triangular braces says that's the real dimension from the model. Okay, and there we have it. And now our model is fully dimensioned. Okay, oh, we should do that over here too. Let's move that guy outside over here, and we'll change this also to 2x space. And then okay. Okay, so now this guy is fully dimensioned. We're happy. We don't have to worry about both of the sides of the 0.5. We only really want to have 2 of the 3 dimensions, or 3 or 4 dimensions, however it happens to be in this case. So we have the 0.5, we have the 1, and we have the 2, so we don't need the other 0.5. That would be over-dimensioning, which really can cost you money in reality if you're making these things. So again, I'll come in here and real quickly, I'll right-click on sheet format, edit sheet format, zoom in a little bit here. I won't belabor this too much. I'll just type it in for us. And then same thing for the date. And then I'll do the tile, or my company name. And obviously if you are you, so you're gonna do your own company name or your own pretend company name, if you will. And this guy is a, oops, we'll keep it in caps, Rod Sport. Okay, click on the check, right-click sheet, edit sheet. I'll zoom out because I like to see it. There we have it. Save this guy up. And we didn't do anything in the model, but I can go ahead and save all that. We'll save the model as well, even though we didn't touch the model. I'll let the drawing get saved to the same name. And then again, I can close this guy up and be ready for the next one. And I don't know why, oh, that's right, we were just going from there. And the last one, we're gonna do another drawing. With a new drawing, I'll do the same way I did the first one. And anti landscape, blah, blah, it's good. And then we're gonna browse for our drawing. It's the last one, 543, that's the cradle. And again, I don't like to do that, so I will grab multiple views, boom, 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 get all those views in there. A lot of times when people do this, they forget. The one thing they forget is to make sure the headlines are there. You can come back and do that. It just kind of makes things a bit of a pain. Actually, let's do that. Let's make this wrong this time. And I'll click on check. And notice that this one does have hidden lines that would be here, but what I want to do is click on this guy. And notice it shows that the same thing that I had before. It's, doesn't have hidden lines. Well, I'll check on this guy, the hidden line visible, and then hit the check. And notice it didn't make any hidden lines over here. Well, that's because this guy needs to have use parent style. So now if I click on use parent style, it'll have my hidden line in there. Same thing over here. If I click this guy, use parent style, it will now have hidden lines as well. Okay, and then there's no other hidden lines except for that one, but we want to have that in there. I'll move these guys around just a touch to make it more aesthetically pleasing. And again, annotations, model items, entire model imported into all views. Hit the check, and there we have it. Now this guy here, I don't like that particular dimensioning style, so I'll click on leaders, and I want it to be this way. Oops, nope, I don't want that. I don't want to, that's the difference between diameter and radius. So I still want radius. I would like to have it this way instead. No, not that way. I guess it doesn't like the way I want it. So let's leave it like it is. I could pull it down here. That would be just as good. I'll move that to 6 just a touch. Probably that's a little bit more. Oh, by the way, with radius dimensions, you don't want them to have them vertical. So this vertical line, you don't have them horizontal. Obviously, you don't want them to be overlapping another line. You don't want them crossing dimension lines. Again, you never, ever, never, ever, never, ever cross a dimension line. And of course, there's probably exceptions to that. And then this guy's a little bit far, so I'll move that. It's a little close to the edge, so I'll move that. There we go. I'll put that in the middle. And there's one other dimension that you might need in here just because we don't know. I mean, we as a designer know that this guy and this guy are equal, but let's put in one more dimension. And all you have to do for annotation is just do a smart dimension, just like we did with the models. And I'm gonna go ahead and grab that guy. Oops, actually, I'm not gonna grab that guy. I'm gonna grab this edge here and this edge here, and I'll bring it up to there. Now, I haven't figured out why it makes a different color, and I don't really care that much. If you want to get more into that, you can go ahead and figure that out and maybe send me a message in the comments of the video or whatever. But that's good enough. And again, we don't have to have all four, we don't have to have it on this side because we know that this and this is the same. And we can see that by knowing that the 6, the 3, and the 1.5, they all make sure that this guy's 1.5. Okay. So the last thing we'll do, of course, is edit sheet format. Zoom in here a little bit, put my name in there, put the date in there, double click for the date. What is it again? I can't remember. Put my design, the name of my design company in here. Looks like I'm not quite in the right spot. There we go. And then put the title. And this again is the Cradle. Okay. I click on sheet format, go to edit sheet, zoom back out so it's nice and beautiful there. Save this up. I don't know why it actually did that. It doesn't make any sense because I didn't actually open the model. I'll save the drawing. I don't know why I did that. There we have it. Okay, so that's 3 drawings in pretty quick succession. Hopefully you followed along, and again, since it's on video, you can go back and forth. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time on Design with Miyoshi.